Hey guys, it's Malia from Woman Powered Homestead, brought to you in my garden for the top things I recommend for gardeners. Now, these are basic, like super basic, because I don't have the funds or time to run around and look for things as I want to go out and garden, because I either garden early in the morning or late in the evening when it starts cooling down. It is getting pretty warm here. As you can tell, I'm in a tank top and my sun hat, and I am not really doing much weeding today. It's been a work day, it's Father's Day. I had to spend some time with my husband and call my dad and let him know I was thinking of him. So these should be fairly easy for everyone to find. Alright, so my top things for the home gardener to use. Alright, number one is a bucket. The bucket is very versatile. It is recommended to use when you're weeding, so you can toss the weeds in the bucket rather than in the path or back on the bed where they can be re-established and grow some more. I have had that for many years where I just tossed it in the path and look, it's there in the path being happy and growing again. So put it in the bucket, put it in the compost bin when you're done, or toss it outside your garden somewhere so it's no longer able to infest your garden. Alright, so bucket. You can use it as a seat if you need to. Like I right now just kind of resting against my bed, which is okay, but the bucket is a better height for my legs and they don't feel like they're getting all pins and needles. 3, you can use the bucket for pruning the tomatoes. I went through and did a massive prune this week because I had let them grow a little bit too long. So bucket is very handy to have, and you could just toss your contents back on the compost pile when you're done. Just make sure you layer it green and brown so that it starts decomposing. Number 2, not that one. So number 2 on my list is a pair of gardening gloves. A pair. Because if you can see, my fingers are nice and black from weeding and pruning without gloves, because 9 times out of 10 I forget them on the dining room table. But these are very handy. It keeps the dirt from under your fingernails so you're not there scrubbing forever. They are not a game changer, they're not going to be a game ender if you don't have them, but when you work and everybody's looking at your hands as you're doing things, it is much better to have a pair of gloves and save yourself 20 minutes of scrubbing up afterwards. So a pair of gardening gloves is my number 2 choice. Number 3 is a pair of scissors or garden snips. These are my son's from kindergarten. He's 8th grade now. He's not going to be using these anymore. Maybe he was 1st grade. It doesn't matter. But very handy when you need to prune some tomato plants and the stalks are getting a bit bigger than you would have liked. Very, very handy. Or if you need to come and harvest something, some of the bigger stalks would probably need a knife to harvest. But these are just very handy for clipping things off, like blossoms or branches that you need to have removed. My next item is going to be my tie tape. I've been using this. My husband bought me this 5 years ago when we lived at our old house, which did not have any garden space, because he thought I could use it. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was in that little plastic greenhouse we had on our porch when we were just wanting to grow things. So it's very handy for tying up my tomatoes. I'm weeding as I'm talking. It's very handy for tying up tomatoes to the trellis that I put up last week. Yeah, keeps them from blowing over and being knocked down and breaking their stems. So it's very handy. My next handy tool that I like is a multi-functioning sprayer. It is a trigger pull, which hurts my hand, but it does have a little latch. I can latch it if needs be. It has something like 7 different settings on here. It has the water pressure adjuster on the back, so you can, you know, turn it down rather than having it be full blast. While this is handy, it's not something I use all the time. It really was before I got my soaker hoses. My soaker hoses are fabulous. It saves me from hand watering my tomatoes for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. So, but this is very handy for spot watering, for spots that are not getting reached by the soaker hoses or by the sprinklers. And it's easier to control the amount and where you're watering. All right, my next item is a combo item. A good garden hat, sun hat, give you a little bit of shade, and sunscreen. Always use sunscreen. Protect your tattoos, protect your color. As you can see, I've got a good farmer's tan going because I've been wearing t-shirts outside instead of tank tops. But sunscreen, protect yourself. You do not want skin cancer. It's not a fun thing. And the garden hat, you can find it at thrift. If you can find one at thrift stores. This one I found at my work, so I got a little bit of a discount on it. So it's a really cute Sloggers hat. Like I said, the flower came from Mother's Day, a very cute little item my daughter got, and this is the only place I could think to put it where I could have it on me. So garden hat and sunscreen, don't forget. And oh, very last but the most important in my opinion, water. Stay hydrated. In the heat, it is not a joke. Always have water on hand. My mom used to have a big cup of water, but she got dirt in it quite frequently, so it was kind of a catch-22. But even just, you know, reusing a Powerade bottle just for water. My husband drinks tons of Powerade, so I reuse these all I can. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So, those are my top garden items. You may have other ones. Although I do want to have an honorable mention of the soaker hoses. I saved up and got myself these for Father's Day. Don't tell my husband. But they are amazing. I love them. I got these on Friday and it is now Sunday, and I've run them twice, and I can see a difference in the soil moisture than when I was hand watering or using an overhead sprinkler. And it is also better for the tomatoes so that they don't get blight. So honorable mention is the soaker hoses. I'm so excited about these. So all right, folks, those are my top items for gardeners, things I have on hand. If you need to replace like the garden tie tape with bits of yarn, you can. If you have to go without gloves, you can. If you only have a ball cap, use a ball cap. Ooh, buggy. Oh, maybe not. There we go. So if you have to use a ball cap, use a ball cap to shade your eyes and your face a little bit. But always wear sunscreen and water. And drink your water, guys. All right, so we will see you on the next video. One more item that I would recommend for gardeners is bug spray. This year I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and I haven't before. So something has changed this year. They're getting more aggressive. I just had one land on me when I was filming something else, and I was surprised. It was big. So bug spray. Either homemade, all natural, or if you have to do the off, do the off. But do something to protect yourself from the bug bites because they are terrible this year. All right, so that's it for this video. Everybody have a wonderful week, and I will end another bug. I will end with that gratuitous shot of my son mowing. He's 13 years old, and this is like the only chore he likes to do outside. So everybody enjoy and have a wonderful week. My son's mowing. One of the few chores he does. Let's see.